Greetings everyone, this is AmbientPixels and welcome back to Spyro Reignited Trilogy. In this last episode, we've taken care of Toasty and Sunnyflight, and in this episode we're actually going to go into Peacekeepers, not Peacemakers, which is a common mistake I tend to make. I don't know why, it's just like, I guess the two words sound similar, so of course my brain says, yeah, you said Peacemakers instead, you know, that's how your brain's supposed to work. Alright, so first thing, I would like to say that I'm actually going to be putting Spyro Reignited Trilogy on the back burner for now, mostly because I'm actually starting to upload Night in the Woods, which should go up by the middle of this week, so hopefully you guys will be enjoying that when those go up. And other than that, yeah, it's just I feel like I've been putting most of my Spyro Let's Plays on hold for a while, because it's like that's mostly I've been focusing on that, and you know, my commentary lists, Crash Team Racing gameplay videos, so there was also that. So yeah, for the most part, I just been putting this in the back burner because, like, well, you know, everyone's played this game, and then I got lazy for uploading the rest of it, so yeah, so we're just gonna keep going on here. So yeah, we made it to Peacekeepers, and we're gonna talk to Titan, leader of Peacekeepers.
Welcome to Peacekeepers. Look how our treasure has been stolen and turned against us. Please, recover our treasure, Spyro.
Collect treasure, got it!
So yeah, I mean, okay, I have to say, some of the dialogue choices for this game is not bad, but it's really weird. Like, for example, some sentences probably shouldn't have been phrased differently compared to the original game. That was one of them with Titan, but maybe that's just a personal preference of mine, and I don't understand English if it's not broken down in the most simple of phrases for some reason, but whatever. Yeah, so the Nooks around here are actually a little more aggressive compared to the Artisan's homeworld. As you can see, this cannon guy, yeah, they're not all that threatening, especially when you're close to them, because they kind of circle around you. So, yeah, you can just flame up to them to the side, and, like, that's it. So, yeah, there's the first we'll be going to, probably right after this, me taking care of, Peacekeepers here. And, yes, they kept the Mooning Norks, which I'm glad for. I was really surprised when they did, because there are other changes in this game. I think they're fine, you know, because, like, you know, newer generation thing. We're going to talk about that later, but yeah, I think it's personally fine for what they did. Also, you get yourself a skill point if you, I think, have 6 Norks going to the tents. That's how you get the skill point there. But yeah, I'll probably talk about this with in a later episode with a friend of mine when we recorded these, like much earlier last year. Is that the achievements in this game are quite easy-ish in that most of them are like just play the game 100% and like you get the achievement basically, and like stuff that you figured out as a kid, like they're so easy. But you know, it's like if you're a newcomer to Spyro, I can understand that, but I played these games like religiously as a kid, so they're not all that hard really to get. So like when I was getting some of these, especially my first playthroughs, I was like, why are these achievements? Make no sense. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but the physics in this game is kind of weird. And I'll explain that a little later as we go into later in this level, but now we're going to talk to Magnus.
Hey, Spyro! Sparks the Dragonfly has been doing a good job protecting you. Make sure to keep him strong by feeding him lots of butterfly.
I am very uncomfortable near this dragon. I'm very uncomfortable because it's like, oh geez, like Dragon Daddy. Yeah, water physics? Okay, so as I was explaining earlier, yeah, the physics in this game can be quite wonky, like kind of the same thing as Insane Trilogy, but like worse in some ways. So for example, like when Sparks is collecting treasure, in the first game, you had to be, like, the gems had to be in the same plane as you for him to collect them. He wouldn't collect the gems if you were flying, per se, and you were close to gems, he wouldn't collect those. Or if you were above, like, a step or something, he wouldn't collect those either, which is really stupid, but Same thing works here. Like, same thing in this game too, which is really odd. So, whatever. Risky gunner.
Well done, Spyro. Keep up the good work, and I know you'll fulfill your destiny.
Destiny? I just want to kick some...
Just toast those enemies and collect the treasure.
By the way, since the PC version of Spyro Trilogy has been released at this point in time for this video, someone's actually found like the full thing that Spyro says. There isn't any audio for it, I don't think so, so it sounds like Spyro's just kind of finishing his sentence, but instead of, you know, what we all thought as kids. So, you know, they kind of softened that, which, is, again, choice for Bob's decision, and I'm not gonna, fret them for that. But yeah. I would also like to mention that, again, I am playing this after the update, so no motion blur should be on, but for some reason in Peacekeepers, it's on. Like, that's the only level in the entire game that does that. And it's weird. But anyway, we're actually moving on to the first world of Peacekeepers, and that is Dry Canyon. Dry Canyon is not a long level per se, but definitely glide heavy, especially blind glides are gonna have to make, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. I know that there is one egg thief here, one key chest, and 4 dragons, so here we go. Also, quick thing, I'm probably going to show off here, yeah. In the original, if you flame this in a certain angle, you can actually get that Nork up there. But, of course, for the Reignited Trilogy, they, I guess, didn't program that. I mean, the propellers don't go that far compared to the original game, so, you know. Alright, so here's the Egg Thief. Again, I'll probably talk about this later in some of my later parts I did with a friend, that catching the Egg Thieves in this game seemed very, like, slow compared to the original games. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because they're fixed on a set path or something, or the engine, but it's really odd. And so, but I am a big fan of the redesigns of the dragons here, because I do have to say they use about, like, I want to say maybe 4 different models for the dragons in the original. So here's Conan.
Huh? Oh. Thank you for releasing me, Spyro.
Oh, you're welcome, man. See ya. My sister, when I first played this, she thought that, like, that dragon had, like, a cactus tail. Which, I think that would be a cool idea, but it's not. It's just, like, the way that his fur tail is drawn, I guess. Alright, so there's 2 branching pathways here. You can go this way and rescue Boris, who's right up there. Or you can glide up to that other section to the left to get to, I forget his name. Is it Bull? No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm thinking of a different dragon, never mind. But here's Boris.
Dry Canyon rewards good gliders. You are a good glider, eh, Spyro?
I was born to glide.
And again, this isn't necessarily a problem, like, for voice acting. It's just the direction of the voices are kind of weird. Because in the original game, when Spyro said that, he sounded more, like, unsure of himself. Like, oh, I was born to glide, of course. Did Then here, it's like he was kind of being smart with it. I mean, again, it's all about, like, how voice direction is, but it's kind of weird. So yeah, Spyro wouldn't move away all the time, so he just pops up like that. It's really weird.
Those birds might look tough, but they're pretty tasty. Flame broiled with a pinch of salt.
Yes, of course. I imagine they taste like chicken. I think, anyway. Also, yes, you can stand on top of those. I don't know if in the original you can, but it's really weird. Alright, so that's pretty much all I'm going to do for this section. Probably for a good portion of the rest of this level, I'm going to head over here to the other section, because I already have the key, just to save time, so I don't have to backtrack or anything. So again, as I said before, the physics in this game are really weird. Like, hitboxes seem off, like, and they really shouldn't be. I'm trying to think of some good examples because, you know, as I said before, the gem detection for sparks is off. Even if you play the Year of the Dragon thing.
Is that you, Spyro? Are you the young dragon I've been hearing so much about? Ever since you were a wee puff of smoke, we've known,
You've known...
I forget.
And the bombs lit up and he exploded. Poor guy. But anyway, yeah, heat detection in this game is weird. You're probably gonna see later in Wizard Peak, actually, that the hit detection is just weird. Again, I guess it's just because the engine itself, but it just is always bothering me. But whatever, it's fine. So yeah, as you can see, Sparks is not necessarily picking up the gems. Like if I'm above a, like below a gem or something, he won't necessarily pick it up. Or if I'm close to a gem while I'm gliding, he doesn't pick it up either. And it's, again, I guess it's trying to emulate the first game, but he also does this in Ripto's Rage and Year of the Dragon Remastered. So I don't know. I don't know anymore. Also, be careful for this next section because for some reason this vulture right on the left here. Let's see if I can show it off real quick. Let me get over here. It comes swooping in from the left. Now the other one over there doesn't move, but the other one from the far left does, and it's odd. So we're just gonna glide right over here and collect the rest of these gems here. Also, this is a really fun thing I love to do with these chests. So if you flame them enough times, they spin, but if you jump on top of them, oh, that is fun to do on on my spare time. I don't know why. It's just so fun. It's so fun. I have to say I pretty much own like all 3 versions of this game. So well, no, not all 3. I don't own the Switch version, but I own the PS4 version. Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Sorry, I had a shake, and all of a sudden it's like I'm about to be knocked out in a sugar coma. So yeah, the Switch version, PS4, the Switch version I do not have, the Xbox One and PS4 version, and the PC version I have. And out of the 3 I have to say, go by the PC version, seriously. They have 60 frames per second. Of course, you can do mods, which is fantastic. You've seen some of the models that I actually show on screen here, showing off Flame, Ember, and even Cinder from the Legend of Spyro series. It's actually pretty cool. So actually with that, we're pretty much done with Peacekeepers and Dry Canyon for this episode, and I think I'm actually gonna call it. But one more thing before I end off this video, but seriously, go buy the Reignited trilogy on the PC. It's probably the best version of the game, because I don't know what it is. It's just better optimization for frame rates, even though my computer screams every time I use it, but you know, it's totally fine. It's totally used to it at this point. But anyway, actually going to call it here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize for the hiatus for this Let's Play. There's just been so much going on, I just totally lost interest. But anyway, if you guys really did enjoy this video, please give a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next episode with a friend of mine in Clifftown and Ice Cavern, whatever. See you guys later.